Hey everybody. I just got back from a trip to Disney World and I decided to go on a ride that I haven't ridden in a long time. And that ride is... Oh, I forgot the name of it. Give me one second. Ah, there it is. And since I have nothing better to do on a Saturday night and I have to lay low till I pay off my loan debts, I'll be talking about the Navi River Journey. To go in a little more depth, it's a slow, dark ride, a very slow, dark ride. One of two rides in Pandora Land. There's not much you can really say about this ride, no interesting history, no backstory, no real story in general. Actually, the wiki page on this is so small, all it does is describe the ride that you're doing, and nothing else. There's no backstory to it, and it makes it for a really lackluster experience. Alright, with the story out of the way, let me get into why I do not like this ride. It's really boring. That's all you can really say about it. It's slow. It's in a forest in Pandora where you look at TV screens looping the same animation with the same CGI creatures walking or just standing around doing absolutely nothing. That's the whole ride experience. You can go to Buffalo Wild Wings, put on Avatar, and probably get the same experience as you do on the Navi River Journey. It's only 4.5 minutes long. They made it short on purpose because they knew it was bad, or because they poured $20 million into a single animatronic, which is not a good idea. They also have these really shitty projections, like they have projections of bugs and then this really bad looking waterfall or like a fountain, but they couldn't just have water run through it or even have animatronics of bugs. They just project everything and I'm like, why? Why? It's not any more believable. It makes it look worse. You can tell it's not real, so why not just put the real thing? It's so confusing. There's also nothing going on in the ride. I understand there wasn't supposed to be a backstory or any kind of action that was supposed to happen. That was on purpose, and I get that. There's not really supposed to be a narrative, but it's just boring. There's nothing else you can say about it. There's no drop even. Like, there's nothing to get you in the ride. There's nothing to really immerse you because everything you look at is so fake. So I'm not sure what the purpose of the ride is at all. I'll give credit where it's due. The ride itself is very pretty. It's very nice to look at. The practical sets and foliage are lit up and nice and glowy Pandora shit that they like to use all the time, which you can argue is a cheap way to make it look more appealing to the eyes, but since that's all it has, that's what I'm gonna give it. I also do like some of the very few animatronics they have on the ride. More specifically, that one point when you're floating under the leaves where the shadows of creatures are jumping from leaf to leaf. That actually looks very nice and it's actually quite believable and does immerse you, and it makes you wonder, dang, what if they just did that for the whole goddamn ride and actually added animatronics that were believable? But no, they didn't do that. The leaves are actually the only thing that made it feel real in the environment. Like you can actually see it's a part of it other than the foliage as well. Because besides that, you're looking at TV screens. Until the very end, when you run into the very impressive and cool looking animatronic that cost a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure most of the budget went to on this ride, which is why we don't get a lot of animatronics. And it just makes you think, I would rather have animatronics everywhere else rather than this part because it's at the very end and then you're done. That's the ride. There's nothing to look forward to other than that one thing. I mean, just look at the concept art for this ride. Oh, hold on. Let me just fix this real quick. There we go. I'm not sure what went wrong with the development of this ride. The concept art showed something way different, much larger, much cooler. It seemed like they were going to have more animatronics to it. I understand that it's concept art and it doesn't reflect exactly what they wanted or what they knew it was going to be, but it just looks completely different from what it turned out to be. And they were showing this concept art for a long time too. I do remember following it for a while, and it turned out nothing like what it said. The queue is nothing. It's just as nothing as the ride. Yes, it's shaded, it's nice. I like the shade, especially when it's like 100 degrees in Florida and I'm gonna pass out, but honestly, I'd probably rather pass out of heat stroke than ride this ride. The theming is fine, it's boring. All there is speakers that play music, and I just don't get it. I get bored in that line real fast, and you know what? You're gonna get real bored because that line can go from an hour to an hour and a half sometimes on days. I have seen that ride longer than the other Avatar ride, and I have no idea why. It is so short, it is so boring. The AC is not even good in the ride, so I'm not sure what these people are waiting for. It just creates an issue for the Avatar land itself because that is half the land. There are only 2 rides at that land, and since that's one of them, it feels like complete waste. Yes, you're there for the nice environment and the other Avatar ride, which people do love, but since it's the only other one there, you don't really have much of a choice. You either have the boring one or the fun one where you wait 2 hours in, and I would not choose either of them. I don't know what they were smoking or what they weren't smoking because there were no fun ideas involved in this ride. They just knew, hey, let's put some TV screens in there, an impressive animatronic, and I'll call it a day because everyone is just going to want to go to the other ride. But I do think there is an easy solution to this ride. You can add more to it. It won't be that hard. Honestly, just take out the screens, take out the projections, and you can fill in animatronics in there, and that would make the ride hundreds of times better. I don't think it would make it entirely good, but I think it would make it much, much better than what it is now. I don't think anyone would argue with that either. But just to clarify, this is my opinion. It is not a statement of fact. I am just expressing how I feel. Please feel free to express how you feel. You can just comment down below if you'd like. Thank you for listening to me ramble about absolutely nothing while I kill time. I'm gonna do more of nothing for the next few hours. Bye.